We begin in the Middle East. Amid an ongoing war in Gaza, Israel has now deployed hundreds of troops, tanks, and infantry fighting vehicles in the West Bank. The military operation has resulted in the deaths of at least 10 Palestinians, leaving several wounded. Israel also conducted airstrikes in the West Bank, calling it part of a counterterrorism operation. The Israeli offensive began late yesterday as tanks and bulldozers rolled into the West Bank. Israeli forces were seen actively operating in 4 cities in the northern West Bank, including Jenin, Tulkarm, Tubas and Nablus. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office described the military raid as a preemptive operation to safeguard Israel from any future attacks.
IDF forces began this counter-terrorism operation in Jenin and Tulkarm. We are targeting armed terrorists from the air and the ground, dismantling explosives planted under the road and confiscating large quantities of weapons. Now, in Jenin, 3 armed terrorists who posed a threat to our forces were eliminated in an aerial strike. In Jenin and Tulkarm, our forces eliminated 2 more armed terrorists. We apprehended wanted suspects. We located and confiscated weapons, M16s, ammunition, and additional military equipment.
Now in Jenin, a city that has remained a major flashpoint, Israeli troops blocked all but one entry point as they set up security posts. The Israeli troops also carried out search and seizure raids in Jenin's refugee camp as fierce gun battles broke out. And the Palestinian Health Ministry said explosions could be heard all throughout the night. Several Palestinians were in fact shocked by the Israeli raid and said they hadn't seen a military operation of this scope and scale in the West Bank since the second Palestinian uprising, or Intifada, almost 2 decades ago.
What happened? There was a raid to the neighborhood by surprise. Before they raided, there were some young men near my house and they asked me for water to drink. I went to bring them a bottle of water. When I opened the door to give it to them, in seconds, very fast, we felt like something came down on us from the sky and there was an explosion. I was unaware of what is going on. When I put my hand on my chest, it was all shrapnel and in blood.
Now, Hamas has confirmed that Israeli forces killed at least 6 of its fighters in the West Bank raids. However, Israel says that all of the 10 people that were in fact killed in the raids were members of Hamas. As violence breaks out once again, the United Nations has accused Israel of hostilities towards the Palestinians, which risks sparking a major regional war.
A major operation by Israeli security forces in the occupied West Bank risks seriously deepening an already catastrophic situation. Israel, as the occupying power, must abide by its obligations under international law. The Israeli security forces' use of airstrikes and other military weapons and tactics violates human rights norms and standards.
Now, following the Israeli raid, the United States has imposed sanctions on Israeli settlers in the West Bank as violence intensifies against Palestinians. However, it remains to be seen whether the West Bank raids were a one-time operation or if Israel is planning to launch another major military offensive in the region. From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
Kamala, you're fired.
I say, bring it on.
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment. So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished. On the show today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can we expect